Hi, this is Roger Struckoff, and we are at CloudEXPO in Santa Clara in 2017, day one. Not that it matters because you're not watching this live, but when you do, you're going to like to listen to Mark Figley with IBM, who is here to talk about secure service containers. Mark, thanks for joining us. What do you want to tell us?
Thank you very much. Yeah, since launching LinuxONE, we've learned a lot from our customers, especially new customers that are entirely new to our platform, and more than anything, what they've responded to is some very unique security capabilities that we have that we think are unparalleled in the industry. Now, we've had a long history of strength in the security area, but recent investments around secure service containers allow us to protect not just from external threats and from peer isolation models, but also from vertical isolation, specifically from elevated access users like system administrators. And what we've developed with secure service containers is an airtight solution that prevents elevated access administrators from getting any access whatsoever to customer data that is in the environment that's being hosted. So a service provider using our technology, they can guarantee to their customers that their employees will never have access to any of that customer data ever, period. In fact, kind of the litmus test for our team that we've given them as the design point is that even if a government agency came with a warrant for the data in that environment, that they would be forced to redirect that agency to the customer to serve that warrant, because no employee of that service provider has any physical or logical access to that data, even under legal force of a warrant. And the reason that that's an important measure is because we've noticed a lot of service providers have kind of a blurry line when they talk about security and regulatory compliance, where it's a mixture of what the technology guarantees and HR policies that as long as their people are doing the right things according to the policy, everything should be fine. Which is fine as long as everybody's following the policy every time, but right. We're human beings, right? And so having a technology that can guarantee that and not depend on the right behavior is really the goal. And so by putting it in those terms, and saying even in this situation, it's not that we want that agency to have to go 2 steps to go to the customer, that's not the goal. It's that if that employee can do it for that government agency when they show up, they can do it when the government agency is not there. And it so really clarifies the situation of, is this possible under any circumstances? And that's really the standard that we're shooting for, and the goal that we've achieved with secure service containers that we're putting out there for the industry.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues going on here. Yeah. For one thing, it's not just these outside threats. Another one thing is you never, it's like I don't have the combinations of the safe. You literally really don't, and a lot of your customers are going to demand that. And it's much more than just a simple policy-driven. Now, is there a policy-driven aspect to this, and is there any overhead? I don't quite understand exactly how you're achieving this well enough. Is this adding to the compute overhead, and to what degree is this policy-driven? How does this work to the degree that you can tell me how it works?
Yeah. It's not policy-driven at all. It doesn't require any adherence of human behavior. It is guaranteed at the technology layer. The way that we achieve it, and I understand the confusion, it'd be difficult, if not impossible, to achieve this with commodity Intel infrastructure in the cloud. But we've developed a highly engineered solution that is an integrated appliance, both hardware and software, that lets us achieve this, including our own integrated cryptography and heavy utilization of encryption, including, in some cases, encryption keys that are never touched by a human being ever. And by doing that and locking down the environment in a highly secure way, and also forcing an applianceification of software, meaning it's a software appliance model where the way that administrators administrate the environment is not by going into the command line with elevated credentials and doing whatever they want. Right. It is by interacting with web interfaces or RESTful services as the only way that they can administer the environment. And so by creating a secure enclosure and using heavy usage of encryption technology and a lot of engineering into accelerators to make that perform well, we've been able to create something that's pretty unique in the market.
Okay, so we're sitting here on October 31st. When was this announced, and what relationship, I guess, does it have with LinuxONE and other things that are going on?
So this is a LinuxONE based technology. We've been using it for about a year in IBM's blockchain cloud infrastructure. So when you look at the security value proposition in IBM's cloud and how it's different than other blockchain implementations, that security value proposition is being delivered by LinuxONE and is using secure service containers and has been for about a year. We are now expanding the scope of secure service containers beyond that into other offerings and opening it up to third-party ISVs as well as customers directly in the coming months.
Okay, just a couple questions on where you can find it. Where is sort of general information on this available, and for people that want to, really kind of dive down into the weeds, where should they look?
Yeah, just Google for LinuxONE on the web. You'll hit our landing page there for LinuxONE, which delves into that security proposition, and I would encourage people to go there. Yeah.
Please do. This is great stuff. We're in a new era now, and this is very reflective of the era we're in. We're finally taking a lot of these security issues because it's a data-driven world, and really has to be taken seriously. They are. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.